yeah. I say, hey, what's going on? So, judging by the fact that Jade stopped singing, what's going on with you?
I'm just enjoying this free concert in my basement today.
Yeah, I need beer.
Well, luckily we have some right here. Hello, Seeker, and welcome to the Sword of Truth podcast, a chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with the good life choice, drinking craft beer on this side. I am Nate, and I'm here with Jade and Aaron.
And today, we're going to be stealthily making our way through Chapter 37 of Temple of the Winds.
So we're going to get caught halfway through?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
basically.
Yep. Probably a little detour here or there.
The drinking is going to help with that.
Hopefully.
That's the goal. Little update before we get into the chapter timeline today. Update for our patrons. The patron feed will now feature ad-free episodes. Yes, this is something that, look, it should have happened a long time ago, but it is a good way to add even more value to for the patrons on that feed, and I think it's a good idea.
100%.
They like changed the way the taxes worked and stuff, and I don't know, it doesn't really change on our end much, but it's the way that everyone listening on Patreon gets charged. So I was just like, fuck that, add more stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it better.
Yeah, and I think we are also going to be restructuring our shout-out situation because we just want to make sure that everyone gets their due that's over there. So we will be giving you updates on that soon, too.
Yeah, the last episode of every month is going to be sponsored by, I guess, our patrons. And so we're going to do the shout-outs on that episode for everybody. That way, it's a little easier for us. We can keep track of who needs that yet and make sure that everybody that is supporting the show gets recognized for that because they deserve it.
Absolutely.
And I would like to add that I will be listening to all that because I'm a patron.
Fuck yes.
That is my contribution.
Oh, that's great.
I will be testing whether all that works and sounds good.
Okay, thanks. We'll be looking
like it.
forward to that input.
It's really a paid internship is what I have.
Paid the opposite way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm paying to be an intern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting that on my business card.
That's how we
Paid
like that.
intern.
If that's the way it is, I think you just became our new editor. Fuck. I'm kidding.
The life of an intern. You're good at your job, so they give you more
So
work.
do it more.
Also, more coffee. I'm gonna need you to bring more coffee.
I will get right on that.
Okay. I'll give you my order.
All right, chapter 37 timeline. Here we go. Kahlan is essentially making her way. She's being sneaky. She's doing the thing. She's sitting down and she's writing a message to Richard explaining that she tricked Kara and that she snuck out. This is her plan, right? Hasn't done it yet. And she'll be gone for a few days and she does not want him to interfere. This kind of reminds me of a Simpsons episode. No, it was the Simpsons movie where, they want to go to Alaska.
Yeah.
Right? And Homer does this whole thing like, Marge, there's one time in every marriage where you just need the other person to be like, okay, I'll do what you want. And this is that time. And I feel like Kahlan is using that now.
Yeah. And I'm going to say, I'm going to do my best, especially during the first half of this episode, to not speak my inner feelings as much as I want to on every little tiny piece, because I'm not going to lie, I'm annoyed from the beginning of the chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I think I had like 10 or 11 bullet points in my notes, and I was 2 minutes into this chapter. And I'm like, we need to reel it back. But I did want to highlight that I'm so glad you brought that up because I'd forgot that line in the Simpsons movie because that is perfect because it's said twice in the movie. In the first time is Homer telling Marge, and Marge goes with it. And the second time is Marge telling Homer, and Homer doesn't go with it.
Right.
We're just always at the second part in this book.
Yeah.
Like, Kahlan and Richard are constantly telling each other this without ever doing it for the other person either.
Yeah.
Like, they're both the Homer in this situation. And the other thing is, so my note was like, you only can do these requests when you're in a good, like, probably long-term healthy relationship.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't putting any of that on what these two have right now. We're in, like, high school infatuation phase still with these guys, even though they're fianced.
Right.
Yeah.
I would die for you, yet I've known you less than a year.
Yeah. Like Homer and Marge been together for years. Like they have trust built up.
Right. That's true.
We need to get to that
It's like
point.
once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
And you guys just started the whole lifetime thing. So there might be more of these coming, I would assume.
Yeah.
Probably tomorrow.
She seals it in the twin lightning bolt symbol. Right? That's the wax symbol of Kahlan to make it official so that he knows that this came from her for sure.
Yes.
As we know, that's the symbol of the Kandar. Little update on the rules of the Kandar, actually. She can only use it to defend one person. Like, she can't change it later. She's chosen Richard, and he's the only person it'll work for now. And she also can't use it to defend herself. So, like... And, I was going to say, also, she can feel this thing all the time now. It's not new like it was in the first book, where she's never really activated it yet. Now, it's just there all the time.
Yeah, which is an interesting update.
Yeah, because I thought the whole point was just that she couldn't use it to defend herself. As long as it was for someone else, she could call upon it.
Right.
Not as soon as she had to defend now one specific person. Like, I thought as long as it was a selfish act, she could call upon it.
No, it's totally keyed to Richard. And also, just because she's like, and she's going to play with this idea later, but just because she's on a mission for the benefit of Richard does not mean she can just use it whenever she wants either.
Yeah.
It's got to be like direct.
Yeah, I guess we'll touch on that later.
Yeah,
but her
we will
line,
get into that.
Her line with that, like, wavers a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets dressed in traveling clothes instead of the dress, and she also pulls the spirit knife, which has been carefully wrapped in a white cloth, right, very respectfully, from her drawer to take with her. This symbolizes protection to her in many different ways. But I thought it was cool that she's like, if I'm going to do this thing, I'm taking the bone knife with me.
Yes.
Like that.
And traveling clothes, not a dress.
Right.
Hey, 2 thumbs up, Kahlan.
We are, at the end of the chapter, going to revisit the traveling clothes comment because I have notes, just questions.
Okay. As we know, this knife belonged to Chandelin's grandpa. He learned from the spirits how to defeat the Jacopo people, which is something we rediscovered in between reading these chapters. We learned about this in book 2, right? They were terrible, and then the mud people killed all of them.
And Terry has been subtly trying to remind you, or like get you to remember that you have been told about the Jacopo people, like all of this book. Earlier when Verna was like, hey, I found the pottery from the people who were eliminated, like down by West Celt, or like South Celt, whatever the fuck she said. It was Terry trying to be like, hey, we've talked about this. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember? And when, like, inevitably people didn't, us, he was like, literally, hey, he like hit us on the head with it and was like, so the mud people are like the key to the Jacopo, basically, is what what this is telling us.
Yeah, that was 3 for 3. All of us had said to each other before we started recording. We were like, yeah, none of us remembered that was the
not
Jacopo.
even a little bit. Look, this is a reread for me. My third go through.
A reread.
Yeah, a reread. And so, like earlier when Nathan tells him go to the Jacopo treasure, nothing.
Yeah,
I had no connection to
we all should have
anything
known
else.
right there. Like,
Exactly.
mud people, go to the mud people.
Okay, I remembered it had something to do with the mud, but I didn't remember how we got there or why. I didn't remember
fair.
any of like the details.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You did better than I did then.
Yeah, that tracks. You're slightly smarter than Nate and I. That tracks.
Well, the spirit knife is also the only weapon she takes.
Mm-hmm.
She does take a moment to look at her blue wedding dress. It's her prized possession. Kind of a dramatic moment, but she's also packing to leave. I don't know. Is it just emotional because she's doing this thing that is betraying the person that she's about to wear the blue dress for?
I mean, I do. I kind of think like what I said earlier is I feel like they're more in like the high school infatuation stage. They kind of know what they're doing is wrong, but because there's such a strong love feeling or like first love feeling, it's overcoming it. It's like, well, they'll be fine. Where it's like, as you get older, if you experience it more, you're like, no, I still have to put in effort. Like, we have to be good people to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas in the beginning, you're just like, no, we both like each other, so whatever we do is fine. It's like, no, you still, like, it's like, it's friendship. Like, you got to build the friendship up before you get to best friend status.
You got to like each other before you can love each other.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And right now, they love each other. Well, I mean, they say they like each other, but their actions do not speak to them liking each other.
I think you like somebody, then you love somebody, and then after you love somebody, you really find out if you actually like that person.
I think a lot of this speaks to trust. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't trust that he would allow her to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So she is going to do something that will break his trust because, like, she's
To take that option from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's frustrating is what it is.
Well, Kahlan figures that since no one is protected from a confessor's power, she can get Shota using that, right? She can confess Shota. Unless you watch the Legend of the Seeker watch along on Patreon.
Then there's a few people that can't be confessed.
It turns out they can't, but this is the book and this is the legitimate one. So she also kind of figures that since Shota is doing something to essentially harm Richard, then she can use the Kandar offensively in Richard's defense, which is what we talked about earlier. This is what Kahlan assumes she can do with the Kandar, but she does not know for certain, right? She hopes that's the case.
Yeah, it's a lot like her power is kind of like Richard's in that it works kind of on instinct, sort of, but she is like trying to manipulate her brain in such a way that she will make her instinct work the way she wants it. So it's a strange thing she's trying to do.
It's instinct and need, and she's trying to turn a want into a need.
Yeah.
Like, she is talking herself into this hardcore.
That's really a good
Does it
way
work
of
this
putting
way?
it.
I think it could work this way. You know what? I think it will work this way. It's going to work this way.
It has to work this way.
Yeah, it has.
It's also literally insane because the first time that we met Shota, we were there with like Richard and Kahlan and Zed, and Shota like took care of all those
Manhandled
motherfuckers,
them.
like bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam.
Yeah.
Like, Kahlan, you're not going to get anywhere close to this woman. What are you thinking?
Literally, one of the first things about Shota we know is that they always run into Sam,
Yes.
right? And so,
Yeah.
like, she's got security. It's locked down. They know when you're there. She's going to know.
She knows the flow of time. She knows you're coming.
Hey,
Oh, fuck yeah.
You know
I didn't even
what?
think about that.
You know what, though? She should try to sneak there.
She can't sneak in on Richard even when he's sleeping. I doubt she's going to be able to sneak in on that
No,
witch
no,
woman.
I'm sure Kahlan trying to sneak is going to go fine.
That's fucking funny. We also find out that she's not really planning on killing Shota, but if she has to, she will. But you're going there armed and with the intent. Like, I don't know. You're going there to do something.
She doesn't seem like she really knows what her intentions are. She's like all throughout this chapter, she's like, okay, I'm going there because of Nadine. I'm going there because of the plague. I'm going there because of saving Richard, or she wants to kill me. Like, her intentions are all over the place. So how does she know why she's going there, or what she hopes to get out. I don't think she even fucking knows what she hopes to get out of this.
I thought there was a really somewhat recent real life parallel to this whole situation right now, but it involves very politically driven issues, so I don't really want to get into it, but just in case anyone else here happened to have that thought when rereading this, I think when we're off mic, I'm going to tell you guys what it is.
Okay.
And I think both of you will go, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to leave it at that, because otherwise this podcast episode is going to be 4.5 hours long.
Do you fucking railed? Okay. Okay, so she also figures that she's Queen of the Midlands, right? And that's where Shota resides. So, Shota is a subject of Kahlan's. Shota has to do what she says. And I'm sure with everything that we know about Shota that she will do exactly that, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Kahlan's, she's in charge, so she's got to go take care of the problem in the Midlands for
Right.
everybody. This is for the good of the Midlands.
That's another check mark in need, not want.
Right.
She needs to,
Right.
as the ruler, confront Shota.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
She's not doing this for her. She's doing this for everyone.
Most selfless thing she could do.
Yes.
And also, I'm going to kill that bitch.
Not for sure, but just, if I have to.
If she looks at me wrong, it's like in the Suicide Squad when they're threatening with the end, and Harley Quinn just randomly walks by and is like, and if you have personalized license plate, you die. And they're like, wait, no, Harley, no.
I fucking love that. Oh, so funny. So she might be there professionally, right? She could say that that's the reason she's there, but she is there because she wants to save Richard, essentially. It's what she believes she has to do. And so she climbs a rope ladder. No, a knotted rope. Not a rope ladder. A rope ladder's too easy. It's a knotted rope.
Yep.
Arguably much fucking harder.
Yep.
Way harder.
I could never.
Out of the palace window, right? Not entirely sure if it's long enough either. And then she sets out into the cold.
So quick question, because I know we have a lot of citizens of the United States listening, but I'm pretty sure every American had to attempt to climb a rope in gym class when they were in elementary school, right? Mm-hmm. Like you guys both had to do that, right?
Yeah.
Or they at least had the option to try.
Yeah, they had the option.
Yeah.
I never tried. I touched the rope a few times.
Yeah.
And pretended like
Yeah.
I wasn't trying, but was actually, and I didn't get anywhere. So I was like, no.
Yeah. And can we just a quick second realize how fucked up that was? Mm-hmm. We didn't have nets below us. It was a rope going to the top of a gymnasium.
Yeah.
And you were just surrounded by your teacher and fellow students. We didn't even have pads on the I think we had one wrestling pad on the floor. That was it.
Like it was going to do anything at all.
Yeah. And I know because I would try to climb it all the time. And I had friends that could climb all the way up. And I'm just I'm assuming the reason it doesn't happen anymore is because enough kids fell.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure it did.
the schools got sued.
There's
But
nothing good that's going to happen
Yeah.
if you let go of the rope while you're up that
I'm
high.
curious if that was something on a more global basis, if that was something you guys had to do. Please let me know.
Rope burns. That's all I can
Podcast
think about.
ATT
Ugh.
at gmail.com.
Well, she chooses to walk since the good spirits have gifted her with a snowstorm because it'll be easy to cover her tracks. That was my exact opposite thought. Why not do this in the middle of summer? Obviously, time is a factor, but still.
She's also wearing a super thin coat because it's easier to move in a snowstorm. She decided to use a thin one, and I bet you she's regretting it.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as that first gust of wind hit.
Fuck.
It does all track with her trying to not be able to be tracked, right?
Yes.
Because she also mentions that if she took a horse, they'd be able to find it at the keep and then know at least somebody went up there.
Yeah.
She has to use stealth because she doesn't want the guards to find her or see her at all. And they're trained on tricks of people trying to get past them. So they're expecting that. So she's got to be totally not there. Got to be a ghost.
I think just the idea that she thinks that she is... Just even the general idea that she's I could sneak past the guards. The whole point of the guards is that nobody can sneak past them, right, to get to the keep.
Right.
That's your whole defense. You don't want anyone in the keep. If you don't trust those guards are going to be able to keep somebody from sneaking in, what's the fucking point of them, right? So she thinks she's like better. Like, it's asinine to me that she's even like, I could sneak past the guards.
Well,
You must not think very much of your guards if you think you could sneak past them, because you are not anybody special, Kahlan.
My problem with this at this point wasn't with Kahlan. It got more meta, and it was with Terry.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't just go out there and go, I'm going to sneak past the guards. No. First, she goes through her options, and she goes, well, I could kill them, but that would be bad. No shit.
Yeah.
Why was that even in your head?
Why was that option 1?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. This is for Terry. Like,
Yeah.
Terry, why? Did your editor come to you and was like, hey, you actually need to hit 4,000 words in this chapter? So he was like, I don't know where I can go back. Oh, I'll just talk about how Kahlan actually considers, or not actually considers, but takes the time and mental capacity to say, should I kill him? No, probably not. Should I punch him in the head? Or sorry, should I smack them in the head? No, because I've seen people die from head injuries, so I better not do that either.
Yeah.
Guess I'll sneak past them. Come on.
I guess I'll sneak past our guys who are specifically trained to not let people sneak past them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of the options she has, because she's wearing the cloak, is that since it's snowing right now, the option is to just lay down in the snow and wait for a few minutes, and then hopefully the snow will cover her and she will be invisible, which would be extremely fucking cold.
Yeah.
And would be very hard to sit still, I'm imagining.
And then
Oh, yeah.
she's just gonna like shimmy with all the snow on top of her very slowly.
Yeah.
Just little
Yeah,
bits at a time.
I mean-
it's like the idea is hilarious.
Just
like-
crawl on her belly the whole way
I picture
there.
the little guys from Toy Story with the cone on top of
Yeah,
them, where they keep
yeah.
like, oh, put it down.
Yep. Yeah, it's that the cone, or like behind a bush where you just pick up a bush and carry it with you, drop it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, no sooner than having this thought, she is found the fuck out. Like, immediately.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she didn't even get anywhere close to there's a person close to the keep. Well, check him out.
They come up here, like, in a second, they bring her to a shelter across a bridge. What was her plan for getting across a bridge?
She was gonna go slow.
Covered in snow still?
Yeah.
Going through the water. Fuck
Or
it.
was she going to pick up a rock that's actually hollow on the inside?
No, she just said it was gonna be very hard. That's all.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's like, hey, it's me. It's the Mother Confessor. Let's go inside, and I will tell you what's up. Torn between pride at her men, by the way, because they caught somebody who was trying to sneak by, and then frustration because obviously she was just caught.
Yeah, she's the one who
fucking
got
sucks.
It was straight, like Jade just said, straight up a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Either she sneaks by and finds out her guards are shit, or she doesn't sneak by and her plan is ruined.
Yeah.
There was no good outcome here.
Yeah. Then these guys just get fired later.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Tuesday night. You guys weren't really paying attention.
Hey, welcome back, Confessor. When did you leave? I walked right past you.
Oh, that would be so good.
Ah, fuck.
You didn't see where I crawled through the snow and burrowed my way?
It's still there.
That's a fail, sir. So they do. They bring her into a little shelter where she explains to them that she is on a super secret mission and that Richard doesn't know. In order to keep him safe, right? It's for his own good. And the success of that mission depends on what they all decide to do right now. She needs them to swear to secrecy, even if Richard looks them in the eye and asks them where the fuck Kahlan went.
It feels like heavy gaslighting that she's doing to him too.
Hundo P. She is asking the guards that are like, is it not doing a daily ritual of pledging their whatever allegiance, faith to Richard? Who is
holy
this?
shit.
So like already they're doing it. But then Richard, you know, in case anyone forgot, is the seeker of fucking truth.
Right. You can't lie to the seeker.
The whole point is he knows the truth, or he knows at least if you're lying.
He's going to find out.
He's going to come to these guards and going to ask them, and he's going to find out they're lying regardless.
That is like the number one through theme for the entire book series. Richard is going to find out.
Yeah, that's not based on need. He just does it whenever he wants.
And I have more thoughts on this whole situation, but I'll save them for later.
Okay, Jade. Jade, okay.
Well, the captain straight up says he can't do that. So Galen says, well, you might as well just go take a sword and go kill Lord Rawl right now, because that's exactly what you're doing.
So fucked up.
Yes, not toxic at all.
Nope. No. Obviously, it's the same exact thing.
Yes.
What the fuck, Kahlan?
Those two things, those two actions have
She-
equal consequences.
No choice, though.
Nope.
The guy has no choice but to go along with what she's saying.
Like, obviously, I'm not comfortable with lying to the guy who historically, maybe not this guy, but historically has murdered you just for sneezing in his presence.
I didn't even
you know
think
what
of
I
that
mean?
before.
Yeah.
Literally just the last one.
Fuck no, I'm not going to lie to Lord Rawl. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry. But it changes his mind. He's like, okay, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
And he asks Kahlan if he should swear on his life. I just want to point out, Kara didn't ask that when Kahlan asked Kara. She just, obviously, I'm swearing on my life.
Yeah.
This guy had to, but she says, no, swear on Lord Rawl's life.
Yeah, this is just very healthy.
Well, the captain does make it clear that if Kahlan dies, then the oath is no more, right? He's like, look, if something happens to you, I'm gonna have to tell Richard.
Even though we won't know.
Like, we have to make that right. If you don't come back, like, I need a timeline. Are we talking an hour?
Yeah.
Are we talking few days? What's going on?
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to tell Richard eventually, and if that happens, Richard's probably gonna kill him. But he's not saying Richard, he's saying Lord Rawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I'm assuming this guy may not be close with him because he's just the dude at the gate. You know what I mean? But
Probably has met or talked to, but we're not. Yeah, they're not acquaintances.
yeah,
But-
probably knows there's a new one, but he's not close enough to call him Richard.
But I also think that everybody knows what he feels about Kahlan. So I think they are
Oh, yeah.
all well aware
That's
that
true.
if something happens
Oh yeah.
to his woman
Yeah.
and you were a part of that, like, I don't care how nice Richard has been, you're probably going to get fucked.
Yeah. And again, the only thing they can think of is the history of Lord
Yeah.
Rawls they served, which again, most
Right.
recent one, they know exactly what would have happened if they got on his bad side.
Exactly.
Like, no, I'm just not taking that risk. I don't, This one claims he's better. I don't want to be the one to find out. I'm gonna
Right,
not
be
fuck
the
around.
first guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna not fuck around.
Well, cut to, they let her pass. She's in the keep. She gets down to the Sliph. There's no mention of the mental map. She gets there. She knows the way now.
Which, I mean, it's fair. He had to talk about how Kahlan considered killing her own guards, so he didn't have time to write about making her way back through the keep.
So she asks the Sliph what to do and how long it'll take. And the Sliph is basically like, here, let me just handle this. The Sliph picks her up, right? She doesn't have to awkwardly climb into the well. And then, like a parent driving a car somewhere a long distance away, is like, it takes as long as it takes.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
Are we there yet?
Exactly.
Dad, are we there yet? We get there when we get there.
Exactly. You're never going to turn the car around. You know that. They know that. But it has to be said.
Quick brake check, maybe.
Yeah. Well, she says, I am long enough. I have been there. Or again, Agate in reach.
Hold on one second. I read this note, right? I hadn't read the chapter again before I read the note. So when I read this note, I thought she was saying, I am long enough. And then you had added the note, I have been there. And I was like,
Wait, why
What?
is that funny? Firstly.
no.
Second.
It's funny because I didn't expect you to just out on the podcast be like, yeah, I've been there. I'm long enough for it. Like, wow, Nate. You're really putting it all on the line for our listeners.
No, that was not me.
Yeah, don't put any personal notes in the notes, Jade.
That is a quote.
And then I listened to the chapter and I realized that it was a quote. The full thing was a quote.
Oh,
And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, he's not talking about him.
Nate did
Yeah.
check himself. Well,
Yeah.
good.
I just had to share my journey with you all. Sorry.
I love that for you. Ultimately, we learn that the Sliph has no concept of time. She's been a thing in a well for thousands of years. So think fuck, right? That would be torture if you were just like a regular person just stuck for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm really bored when I'm down here. That's why I'm so fucking horny when you all come.
Well, Kahlan asks the Sliph if she'll tell Richard about where she went, and the Sliph reminds her that she doesn't tell anybody anything about what she does with her clients or about their pleasure.
HIPAA.
Kahlan makes a weird face, but she goes with it. Fuck it, we're going wild.
Yeah, everything about this is totally fine.
We do what feels good in the Church of the Confessor Kahlan.
There we go.
Wow.
I would like to put in for a vote of name change, but I just want that on record. And the Sliph also reminds her that she has to breathe her in, which is terrifying. But Kahlan remembers, right? She's done it before and she's prepared to do it. So the Sliph, like I said, picks her up and plunges down into the well. And inside the Sliph, there's no cold, no heat, no time. It's nothing but pleasure and rapture.
Kind of like doing heroin or something. It almost was like...
It's gotta be.
I know, I'm just saying, like, she's like, it's scary. She has to put her inside of it, you know? Like, the whole thing is just like... And then she's like on a weird trip. It's weird.
What a rush.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I've never done heroin, Jade.
I haven't either. It
No,
was
me
just the
either.
idea.
Sure.
Again, for the record, not a joke.
Also, I've been watching Euphoria, so that's where I don't know.
I mean, no, it's very much like, I mean, whether you've done them or not, it's what you were taught about drugs in general. It's like, hey, they might make you feel good, but they're bad.
Yeah.
Like, they are dangerous and bad.
Just the idea, she's putting a weird substance inside of her body.
Yeah.
And then she's, all full of rapture for a little while.
Yeah. Here's my thing, though. Do you know what I would prefer to put in my body?
Every time.
I don't know, Aaron.
It's a
I don't know that I
question
want to
every
talk
time.
about it.
It's beer.
Oh, okay.
It is
yeah,
beer.
then I do.
Time for the beer
Wait.
break.
Nate, you had chosen, wow, that was weird, 2 different beers specifically for this episode. Did you want to talk about both of them during this beer break?
No. We'll do this one. Well, it's that one that's in the fridge, actually, not this one.
Here, I'll grab...
Oh, that's what I asked that
Yeah.
earlier. I was like, do we want to start with this one? And then it was like, yeah, because it's also a breakfast beer.
So,
Damn it.
well, this one tastes better for the morning. Okay.
Yes, it does.
So the beer that I'm talking about is Better Life Choices.
Wait.
IPA.
Wait.
Jade's got to grab it a second. I got it for this chapter because that was amazing, by the way.
Puck,
She's
quit
doing
knocking stuff
acrobatics
over.
to get the beer. I chose it for this episode because I knew we were going to be talking about Kahlan and about how it was annoying that she was literally doing this whole thing. And so I was like, Jade, I acknowledge you're not a huge fan of IPAs, but I feel like this beer name was too good to pass. So it's Better Life Choices IPA from Atwater Brewing Company.
Solid.
It's ale with a burst of Centennial Dry hop, clocking in at 6.5%.
Ooh.
85 IBUs.
Okay. Nate just took his first sip. So, yeah, full transparency. We're drinking a different beer, but
Jade,
this is the
I
one...
don't think you're going to like that one.
Yeah, this is the one we want to do for the beer break. So this is going to help Jade because she's got a chaser.
I can smell it.
She can immediately get back to the good beer. That was such a small sip.
It was not. It was, but you'll like it probably. I don't.
It's very dry.
Oh, it's fucking delicious.
I find it quite enjoyable, yeah.
So I won't rate it. You guys talk about it. I'm just going to sit over here and drink my other beer.
There's no description on it. It's just an IPA.
It's a super dry IPA.
Yeah, it's a great, delicious hop, and I like it. I mean, I like hoppy beers though. This is where
I'm coming around to them.
This is where it's nice when we go out and have drinks, because then there's chances where like Jade and I can kind of split beers and be like, hey, try yours. Hey, try mine.
I suppose this is why it's good to have Aaron on the podcast, so that when we have when we have a beer that I don't like,
True.
you can rate it fairly instead of me just being like, this is terrible because I hate it.
True. I was gonna say it is hard to buy stuff for the podcast that we know we're all gonna like.
I'll drink it, so
Right,
we can
yeah.
just do that. What we're doing.
So, how many knotted ropes would you give this beer? how many knots out of 5?
3.5.
3.5 knots?
Yes. Yep.
I would say 3.
Okay.
It's still very hoppy, and I'm still kind of getting into it.
I can go down to 3.
It is enjoyable
because it's just a base IPA. There's no extra flavor, but it's good. It's not too dry. It's a beautiful base IPA.
Right.
A perfect 3
Nothing
out of 5.
fancy. Yeah. 3 out of 5 wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Jade, how about you?
See, I feel like my scale's gonna fuck with everything else.
No.
So
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
You rate it what you think it deserves to be rated.
What you have to be is consistent, because like if we have an IPA and then you give it a 4 out of 5, like that means for people who like IPAs, they're gonna go, holy shit, a non-IPA drinker just gave this IPA a 4 out of 5.
I'll give it a 2 out of 5. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought you were gonna give it a 1.
Yeah, kind of me too.
I can acknowledge that it's not a terrible beer. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
And that's fair. That's fair. Well, all right. Better Life Choices from Atwater IPA. If you guys find that by you, I would definitely pick some up. Unless you're not a huge IPA fan, then maybe leave this one alone.
Yeah, pass on this one.
But I am going to definitely finish this one, and we will be back right after this. And we are back to talk a little bit more about Chapter 37, Temple of the Winds.
Woo!
Woo!
So where are you guys at with this chapter? You like it? Not like it?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5?
Perfect. Wouldn't change a thing.
Wouldn't change a thing. Jade, I feel like your score might be a little lower.
Yeah, I'm not happy about Kahlan.
Upset with Kahlan. I think that is interesting because Kahlan is your favorite character. Or is that changing maybe?
Maybe not at the moment.
Yeah.
Not right now. Yeah, you're not happy with her.
Yeah, I don't know. Now that we're doing this reread, who my favorite character
Think it's
is.
changing?
Yeah. I don't like her thought process a lot of the time.
Yeah. I know. I mean, Richard has always been one of my favorite characters, but if I was going to change, I would say Nathan is probably, and not because of the name,
Sure.
because he has a fantastic name, if you ask me. But I like him. He wants a sword. I like swords, and he's quippy and smart, and he fucks with people. He's a joker, and I like that.
I think my favorite character is actually Berdine.
Ooh, yeah.
I think just overall, there's nothing to not like about Berdine and her story.
That's true.
So I think overall, I like Berdine the best.
I love Berdine.
She's not as intricate as Kahlan is to the story, which is why it's easier to say Kahlan is. But I just feel like Kahlan is portrayed as a certain kind of heroine that is like pretty awesome and independent and all these things that you want her to be, intelligent, but then you actually see some of her decision making and her thought process as we do this and break it down, and I'm like, I don't know that I agree with anything you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not a fan so much.
Turns out when the spotlight is on something, you tend to notice it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's kind of a 3-way tie, and it's funny that you guys brought those up, because I was going to say either Berdine or Reyna, like those two, or Nathan, and I've been trying for the last 2 minutes to think of his name, and I'm so mad I can't. But the new prophet, the guy Warren. Thank you. Like, I really liked him.
Warren's
Peace.
fucking awesome.
I don't know why that's what comes to my brain.
War and Peace.
Yeah, War and Peace.
I'd like to think that's his last name.
Yeah.
Last name Peace, first name Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's cool. Like, and obviously, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff Richard does, but there's also a lot of dumb stuff Richard does. So it's like, well, I guess Zed's up there too. I mean, I don't. It's too early for me to pick like a favorite character, because
that's my.
I know
thing
I'm gonna
about
get
Zed.
more info. You know,
That's true.
yeah.
I love Zed, and I think he is easy top 3.
Okay.
Like, all the characters in all the worlds.
Okay, Nate. Okay.
Yeah, because that's fucking great. Who doesn't love Zed? But he, I don't know. he is still the grandfather figure with the wisdom that kind of tamps everything down.
Yeah.
And I feel, honestly, like Nathan, as compared to Zed, has a little more Jack Sparrow energy. And I like that. You know what I mean?
Wild card, bitches.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the main issue with Zed is that he's comedic, he's powerful, he's all these things. He is conveniently taken out of our story.
Yes.
So that we don't get those things, we don't get his help, we don't get any of those things. So although he might be a favorite character, he is specifically taken out of the plot, which makes you like, okay, yeah, but if he was there more, you would be like, yeah, fucking Zed.
To me, it's like in superhero movies, like speedsters always have to get nerfed. Because otherwise the speedsters could just solve the whole thing by themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Flash it's so ingrained that the Flash is just so much faster than a normal human's comprehension. And it's like any villain that is not superhuman, he can literally just like run up, flick him in the nose, and catch them, and it's done.
Yeah.
There's no 40-minute episode to be seen here. Like, done. The movie, over. That's it.
Leave his house, take care of the bad guy, come back, clean said house, take a shower.
And all that time, 5 seconds have gone off the microwave.
Yeah.
Like, he's done.
Fuck. Well, here's something else I wanted to talk about. The fact that Kahlan pulls a Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas in this chapter. She drugs a guy in a tower and then escapes in the middle of the night to sneak away and do some nefarious thing for the good of said guy.
Now, originally, Nate,
Nightmare is a little different because it's a different said guy, but still.
It is, but I guess originally that was my thing. Is I was just like, oh, okay, so Richard isn't exactly the guy who's trapping her in the tower, who created her, whatever. But actually, kind of, Richard's controlling and doesn't really want her to leave by herself.
That's true.
Kind of, she is sort of doing the same thing.
Why did Kahlan have to sneak out? Because she knew she couldn't just walk out.
Right.
She couldn't
or
go up
she
to the...
suspected that she wouldn't be allowed to.
She would get to, Ulick and Egan, or no, Ulick and Egan are at Richard's bed, but like she would get to the captain of the guard and he would be like, Lord Rawl said you can't leave.
Okay, here's
kind of trapped.
Here's the crux of the whole fucking thing.
I am so ready for what you're about to say.
That's the whole thing.
Jade's amped up.
If Kahlan really believed that what she was doing is right, if she really thought that what she was doing is right, she didn't have to sneak out. She could look Richard in his goddamn face and say, Richard, this is something I have to do. This is something I know needs to happen, and I'm going to do it. And you can agree with me or not, but this is what's going to fucking happen. But she can't, because she knows that it's not the right thing to be doing, and she is betraying him in doing it. And this is why it's so fucked up.
Yeah, even if it's a subconscious thing that's preventing her from just walking out the door. Like, there is a part somewhere in that noggin of hers that's like, this isn't the right thing to do.
Right. You know that it's not right. I love that you said that, because while you were speaking on behalf of Kahlan, all I could think was, oh, I love you, Marge.
But yeah, I do agree that it is similar to the Sally thing, especially with the rope, and it's funny.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize it until we were talking about it, what was it, couple days ago, where you were like, no, she drugged one guy in Nightmare Before Christmas. She's drugging a guy that will not let her leave.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's different because Richard would let her leave, possibly. But either way, she's drugging them to escape.
Yeah. And then climbing out a window.
Yeah.
And
It's not a perfect one for one.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking close.
It's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
And so, total transparency, I did look last night to see which of those stories came out first.
Oh.
and Nightmare was around when this book was written.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that is enough of a
Wait, was
parallel. Yeah. This book came out in, I believe, 1997, was it?
Yeah.
For some reason, I still had these books being published in like the 80s.
No, this is 97, and
okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas was 92.
Yeah, that was
So,
early 90s.
so
yeah.
it was around, but it's not close enough to where it's not a Sam.
No,
You know what I mean?
No. Well, but it could be a nice little homage. It could be like maybe
that
Terry
I like.
watched the movie and was like, "Hey, this movie's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I want to make little Easter eggs,
There you
Okay.
I like
okay,
that.
Okay. So next point that I had about the traveling clothes. So the question that I posited is now the way she phrases this is these are the clothes she wore on journeys through the Midlands.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be referencing the clothes she wore with Richard. Could be.
Yeah,
In which case, those clothes that she wore with Richard were not her clothes. They were clothes given to her by Emma, which is Chase's wife. Mm-hmm. Right? Because when she showed up to Richard, the first fucking time we saw her, she's wearing her white
She was
dress.
in the
That's
dress.
right.
And she
right.
didn't have any traveling clothes.
yeah.
Not any with her, anyways. So,
Man.
She had the fanny pack thing, and that was it.
Otherwise, Kahlan does have traveling clothes as a mother confessor, and she just chose not to wear them on the super secret important mission where she was sneaking across the boundary to go find the Seeker. She wore her goddamn white beacon of a dress. Now, Nate did point out that maybe she was trying to call her, like, show she is the mother confessor to the people who would recognize her. Okay, cool. I'm just saying.
But that only works in the Midlands because you're going to the Westland. Nobody knows who the fuck you are
Right.
over there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying that it seems like either a plot hole or she's neglecting that these were just given to her. But like these aren't her clothes. Either they aren't her clothes or she didn't wear her traveling clothes when she should have been wearing her goddamn traveling clothes.
Right.
I think you have to think from her perspective here because this is what we're doing. We're in her head. It is her traveling clothes, but her version of traveling clothes is just a slightly sturdier mother confessor's dress. It's not full silk. This one's wool.
Same dress.
That's funny.
Just you got to wear boots
Exact
with
same design.
That's funny, except that she specifically describes
No,
the pants
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit like that.
No, I don't know so much as plot hole as don't hate me. Lazy writing.
That's because Nate was like, I don't want to be shitting on Kahlan. I'm like, this
Yeah.
isn't actually shitting on Kahlan.
No, this is on Terry.
Yeah.
I think it's something where because like when you're sitting down and writing, by no means am I an author, but it's like in college I took a lot of creative writing classes because it was an interest and a hobby of mine. And it's one of those things like they talk about when you are trying to do long form storytelling, it's so difficult because you'll get to stuff and you'll get to it at word, 750,002, and all of a sudden you realize that the next four words have invalidated something at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you don't catch that because it's not often where you're going back and rereading your entire series on your own. Like usually you have cliff notes. It'll be like this person does this, 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 this. You aren't putting down that way back when in scene 1, it wasn't a note that Kahlan was in her confessor's dress.
See.
Because the visual of that is a great thing. Richard meets Kahlan when Kahlan is looking her best.
Yeah. Oh,
She's
yeah.
in her confessor's dress. Now she's getting trapped. But later on, you're like, oh, wait, this person needs to be a smart traveler. So they have travel clothes. You forgot to do that at the beginning, though.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me about that is that we haven't gotten there yet, right? But the series circles back around on itself
Oh, okay.
in certain ways.
Okay.
And so for the man to have forgot, okay, it's a little thing. It's a super minor thing. But
Yes.
it's a minor thing that makes me go, when later he does all of this
Yeah.
grandiose like spider fucking webbing, and they're like fucking journey. Again, I understand they could be Emma's, and she's just like, these are the clothes I wore, and she's just phrasing it weirdly. It was just a thing that popped in my head.
Now
Right.
these are her travel clothes.
Right now, they are at the Confessor's Palace, right? So this is all her stuff from when before she left.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
she's putting on now is. If she was wearing traveling clothes before, yeah, probably came from somebody else or Chase's wife. I think the thing that's different here is that these have been her clothes for this whole time.
Yes.
She didn't take them with her
Yeah.
across the boundary. And why?
Yeah, well,
Because that would be the thing that sticks out most to me.
And in Terry and / Kahlan's defense, maybe she did. Maybe by the time she got to Richard, her traveling clothes had been ruined, and the confessor's dress was all she had left. We don't know,
But we never got an explanation for that, so we
that's all.
don't know.
But
That's all.
do we need one? Like, is
No,
that
it's not a major
is
thing.
that
No.
important to
I know.
the story? Not really, but because we're going,
Yes,
line for line,
yes.
word for word, this stuff now sticks out where
Yes.
before it didn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
my last thing.
What is it, Jade?
Now,
Yeah.
I fully get that the soldiers were fucking gaslit to all hell. Okay? She treated those guys terribly during that thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
100%.
That was emotional abuse that she was doing on those people.
In a power. Like, she is in charge of them.
Not only is she in charge of them, but she used like their bond to Richard and their want to save him. I get it's disgusting what she did to
It
them.
was gross.
Fine if you don't want to do what I say and bring death and dishonor to your family, and everyone in the country will hate your guts and know that you're a traitor and want you to die. Or you could just do the thing I said. Yeah, no, and that's easy, even though it's technically treachery and you should be put to death for that.
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
Your choice.
But my thing is,
choice.
Your choice,
right?
up to you. Hey, I can't tell you what to do.
It's not just one guy,
But
right?
fucking do it.
That she's
Yeah.
doing this to. This is
Yeah.
a group, right?
At least, it's
And
got to be at least 5 or 6 guards.
It's a group of well-trained soldiers. And to their eye, they have this person, right? Person to start out with that's sneaking into the keep. Just being all fucking stealthy. Pops up, says, "Oh, I'm the Mother Confessor." Maybe you recognize her, maybe you don't. Either way, all of a sudden she starts spouting off all this crazy shit about how she has to get into the keep or the Lord Rawl's gonna die, and it's fucking laying it on thick, okay?
Oh, yeah.
That
Real
she
thick.
really wants you to get in there.
Yeah.
And maybe one guy, but 5 guys all believe this and don't question. This is a world of magic, okay? We've seen people transform into different things in this world.
Yeah, physical features. Yeah.
I feel like, hey, I understand that you need us to keep quiet, but at the same time, I would really feel more comfortable if we could alert our captain and be like, okay, just him, though. Just him.
Yeah.
But he should know so that somebody a little higher up than just the dude at the gate knows.
Hey, I would let you go through, but if my boss finds out, he's gonna fire me or kill me
Also-
And
anyway.
it's my ass, yeah.
So I'm just gonna bring him in. Hey, I'm with you, but I gotta bring him in.
I got to
Or-
cover my ass so that I can cover your
At the very
ass.
least, can you give me some type of proof? Some type of collateral? I don't know.
Yeah.
Confess somebody.
Yeah.
Okay? Or where's your wedding? I don't know. Give me some type of tangible proof
Yeah.
that you are who you say you are.
Yeah.
And that what you're saying is actually facts and not just
Right.
bullshit to get into this keep that we've been sworn to fucking protect.
Yeah.
And you're asking me to lie to the person, like you said, who I am bound to. That could negate my bond to the Lord Rawl, which would make me vulnerable to the Dreamwalker. This is a huge fucking thing that you're asking me to do with no actual proof.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, I get that they were like fucking emotionally abused into agreeing with her, but for 5 people to all be like, yeah, okay, I'm not gonna say anything, and believe that she's actually the Mother Confessor is just weird to me. Why, if you're the Mother Confessor, why don't you walk up here like the big bitch you are and be like, I'm going in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would the Mother Confessor she
Tell
does
us, don't ask us.
She does attempt to explain why she's sneaking. I mean, she does tell that to the guard. She
That's
says,
true.
"Hey,
Nobody can know.
Yeah.
Richard would never let me go.
yeah," but again, that's what a person who's sneaking
And
in would
also-
try to say.
And also, I would look at them, be like, Mother Confessor, did you honestly think you could get past it? If you were the real Mother Confessor, I would think that you would know that you couldn't
gaslight
get
her
past
back.
the Taharans. Yeah, the Mother Confessor would know you couldn't sneak past us.
Yeah.
So why would you even be trying?
What were you thinking?
There was no good solution here. Like you said, this is a lose-lose. You should have known that you had to come up here and talk to us. And since you didn't, I am fucking sus, bitch.
I could not have said it better myself.
That was perfect.
Drop the mic. Drop the mics.
Drop it.
How do Nate?
No.
Nate, how do we
Don't do that.
How do we drop the mics?
Stop unscrewing things.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I think that does it for us for today. If you guys wanted to let us know what you thought of this chapter or this episode, you could write in your journey books to podcastatt@gmail.com. You can follow us on all of our social medias or at Facebook and all the things or Podcast ATT. If you would like to support this show directly, you can go to patreon.com/podcastatt and make a pledge of any amount there. We sure would appreciate it. But hey, if giving that way is not quite your thing, then you can just go onto whatever thing you're listening to this on right now. There are very many, and just like and subscribe. And if you can't do that, well, then just have a good day or a good week.
Yeah.
Just do that for me.
If you can do something that helps us out, we appreciate it. But if not, we know you got a life to live.
Here's something. Don't sneak out of your house this week.
No.
And go to a place of dangerous magic. Just don't do that. And
yeah.
I would appreciate that, and you'll be alive.
Yeah, don't die.
Yeah, don't die. We love you. Don't die. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody, so much for listening. We will see you real soon.
Bye.
Smell you later.
Yeah.